Not that I know of for today.
Good morning, good morning. The July 7th, 2025 work session of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners will come to order. Welcome, citizens of Douglas County. County Clerk, would you please take the roll for the record?
Yes, ma'am. District 1 Commissioner Henry Mitchell is not here at the moment. District 2 Commissioner Whitney Kenner Jones.
Present.
District 3 Commissioner Martin Raxton.
Present.
District 4 Commissioner Vice Chair Mark Alcaraz.
Present.
Chairman Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones.
Present. Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, did we have anyone sign up for public comment this morning?
Yes, ma'am. We have several individuals.
Okay, thank you.
Before I call you, I will just remind you, you will have 3 minutes to address the board. Once your 3 minutes are up, we'll ask you to wrap up your comments. When you reach the podium, please restate your name and address for the record and your subject matter. So the first individual is Jackie Cooper.
Good morning. I'm Jackie Cooper, address 8080 Malone Street, Douglasville, Georgia. And I am here on behalf of hopefully asking you all to help us save the CSB. I am Director of Community Outreach for my church, Trinity World Christian Center, but I also have been servicing this community for the last 16 years as a nonprofit, Welcome to the Village. The things that I've been able to do in reference to the nonprofit and servicing the kids and the families have been incredible, but also I've not been able to do any of these major things that I've been able to accomplish for the community, the kids and the families without the CSB for the last couple of years. And them enabling us to host events without it, being a cost to us, like our Youth Fest. We hosted our Youth Fest last year for the first time, where we were able to get together 45 resource vendors to service the community, to where we were able to provide the kids and families with food boxes, over 400 pair of shoes, and book bags. Over 1,500 families came out last year for that event at the Youth Fest at this One Family Resource Center. But not to just say that, if we close the CSB, we will be displacing 164 families that are being serviced by the CSB. We will shut down a pharmacy. We will shut down mental health services. We will shut down the adult disability services for some of our community, most of our communities. It's a lot of things that the CSB, Ray Lightfoot has allowed us to be able to do, to be able to be a service to the community. Now, I know a couple of the commissioners that I was out on the campaign trail with, that said, hey, we're gonna do something about keeping this open. And so I'm calling everybody to the floor, because this place is such a valuable access to our community as a whole. And I would love for you all to, put a motion on the floor to help keep this place open for our community, for our children, for our families. It is important, very important. And I would like for people to really step up to the plate, our leaders to step up to the plate and help us do this, because it's detrimental. I've not had a place, I've been out here 16 years servicing this community with the kids, and a lot of people, know me, but it's only been through the community service board that where I had not had to come out of pocket. It's been a safe place. It's been a good place for us to be able to provide when it's, you know, food and coat drive and all these different things, and for Christmas and these areas, and them to help us be, you know, a very important part of this community to help our community. So I'm asking the board to put a motion on the table to help us. And the state has closed down 2 community service buildings in the last couple of weeks. Just come in and shut it down. That leaves people without displacement, that leaves people without jobs, and that leaves our community, especially our nonprofits, without places to where the defects. We have the defect center in there, you know, where people are able to bring their kids, you know, so they can, you know, have quality time with their families. We have, you know, so many different entities that come, and that place provides a safe place. It provides time. It provides, you know, outlet, all these different things. And we are now trying to shut something down that will be, you know, if we do, be detrimental to our community as a whole. So I'm asking, Chair, please, y'all help us save, you know, the Community Service Board.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Ms. Cooper, for bringing this to our attention. Certainly, we will take this matter under advisement. Thank you again, Ms. Cooper. Clerk, Madam
Okay.
Clerk, who's next?
Next, we have Jennifer Wicks.
Good morning, Ms. Wicks. How are you?
How everybody doing?
Oh, we're doing great.
I'm speaking on behalf of the veterans from Douglasville.
Yes, ma'am.
I served my country as a sergeant major 28 years. So I'm up front to ask for a motion just like Ms. Cooper. If we take away the center, we take away a lot for the veterans. They come, they get food, they get clothing, and they operate as, thank y'all for Mr. Ray. He takes care of us, we take care of him. But it would be a bad situation not helping the homeless. And folks that's close to the homeless, they will be actually homeless now because the things that the center has done, we're taking a point on how they get treated. So as a veteran, I want to speak on behalf of Douglasville veterans to help monitor and help them to make this motion. That's what I have, ma'am.
Thank you so much. We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, who's next?
Thank you. Next, we have Henry Greeneye. And if you could please restate your name and address when you reach the podium.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Henry Greenidge, 7363 Stone Bluff Drive in Douglasville, Executive Director of Renaissance Leadership Academy. We work with children 6 to 12, teaching them leadership, music, and computer coding. And I am supporting the recommendation that Ms. Jackie Cooper meant about reconsidering funding for CSB. Our children are so important to us, and this is an agency that supports children's initiatives. And I ask you to please reconsider that funding so that we continue to stand and invest in our young people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rennie. We will take this matter under advisement. Madam Clerk,
Okay.
next.
Next, we have Patrick Lynch.
Good morning, Mr. Lynch. How are you?
All right.
Good.
Patrick Lynch,
Mhm.
6272 South Summer Circle, Douglasville, Georgia. On behalf of Douglas County Air Modelers Club this morning, I'm going to speak about our club. Our club is a non-profit. We have been there in the same place for 40 plus years. Our club pays insurance on this flying space. And through AMA, which is an Academy of Model Aeronautics, Douglas County Risk and Safety receives a copy of this insurance every year. It's a certificate of liability insurance every year. So there's been an ongoing exchange between the county and us for how long it has been going on, 40 years plus. And it used to be sent to the Parks and Rec, and then it was sent to the Risk and Managements. On June 2nd, 2025, our club has been denied access to the flying field. And we have insurance for us flying there. There needs to be a solution to this. It warrants some kind of action. Supposedly we're going to get an MOU. We haven't had any response. I personally have. I am the president of this club. I haven't had any response back from the commissioner that I spoke to, or the secretary, or Parks and Rec lately. I haven't had any response back from them when I call them or email them or put a thing out. They asked for certain things, which we right away provided. And believe this action is detrimental to us. And I would like to see a solution. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, but we certainly will take this matter under advisement. What park did you say again? I didn't hear you, sir.
Cedar Mountain Road Park.
Oh, Cedar. Okay, thank you. I have it. I was just trying. I have it. Thank you.
Okay.
Cedar. Okay.
Next, we have
Madam
Bob
Clerk.
Jackson.
Good morning, Bob Jackson, 118 Northway Drive, Carrollton, Georgia. I'm also supporting the Douglasville Automobile Club. I've supported the documents. I think I have a folder that Mr. Mark has on his desk, has all the insurance documentation. I've been conversation with Sheila. I talked to Sheila this morning, by the way, and she said they're working on an MOU. I'm hoping that was be done today, but I don't know what's the delay on that. We're just asking for support. Be able to reopen our club. We've got 40-something members. Plus, there's an archery club down below at the same area. Again, Mr. Patrick said we've been there about 40 years. We're good, clean guys. No smoking. No drinking. We follow. AMA has rules for permission for our insurance, so I think we're safe club, I believe. I'm retired, old. I like to have a place to go play. So ask for anything we can provide you. What you need from us, ask us. We'll try to provide it with you. I understand the issue was they're making an MOU. I think the county's making that an issue this year. That's fine. Help us to fulfill your wishes so we can get that taken care of. So if you have any questions, I gave Sheila my phone number, my email address. I'm the secretary, treasurer of small clubs. Not many people want to do anything. So thanks for listening, and try to get us back on the line soon, please. We're missing, summertime is our best time. When it's cold, old folks don't go outside and play. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jackson. We'll take this matter under advisement. I appreciate you coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
Next, we have Crystal Lazenby. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right.
Good
Hello, it's
morning.
Crystal Lazenby.
Lazenby.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and my address is 9434 Cedar Creek Place. I too am one of the people here supporting the CSB and asking you all to help keep this place in our community. I'll just tell you, the first time that I went to the CSB was when a lot of you guys were running for office. We had a meet and greet, and you guys gave eloquent speeches about what you would do for our communities. Some of you I couldn't vote for because you weren't my commissioner, but I supported you. And I'm just asking you guys to make good on the promises that you have given to this community, not just to have a seat here, but to make a difference here and to keep the things that are already working in place. The second time I came to the CSB was actually for Jackie Cooper's event, Youth Fest. And prior to the day actually going on, we took a tour of the facility and we were able to see all of the things that they offered. Now, this day it wasn't active, but one thing did stand out this day, and this was where a father was being reunited with his child. And he was there and he had a space that was safe, that was not a McDonald's. That's what we joke about in our house, because you have to have these meetings at McDonald's, and it wasn't that space. It had a crib, there was a room, there were toys. He was able to engage with his child as a father is supposed to engage with his child. And this place gave him that safe space to do that. Then we actually did go to her event, and who we are, let me just say who we are. My family business is Kendrick Love Behavior Consulting, and we work with children ages 5 to 24. We have a history of working with kids who have autism all the way to kids, I say they have the alphabets, and that's ADHD, EBD, all of the letters that if you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And we work with all of these children to give their family strategies and support, and the CSB is a space that we are looking to utilize to have an event where we give back to the community, where we give parents resources to help them with getting their kids back to school. I'm a former educator. I've been educating people for 16 plus years. My partner is also, he's worked in behaviors for 20 plus years. So we see the need for this space to just exist, for a place for nonprofits to come and do the work that we do, that we've been called to do. And if it's gone, that means we have to then find places, and just like Jackie talked about, just kind of picking these places to do things. And we've had meetings at McDonald's too, and we don't want to do that anymore. We want to have spaces where there's dignity and there's not, you know, there's the comfort of being able to really parent and get those things done. So we're just appealing on behalf of all of these people to really make a difference and keep this place in our community. Thank you so much for all that you've committed to do and all the work that you are doing, and what I expect you to do as well. All right, have a great day.
Thank you so much. Ms. Lazenby, I believe. Lazenby, I got it wrong again. All right, thank you. We'll certainly take this matter under advisement. Madam
Okay.
Clerk, you have the floor.
Next, we have Anthony Lawshe.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Anthony.
Lawshe.
Good morning. Anthony Lawshe, 163 Grayson Myers Drive, Villa Rica, Georgia.
Okay.
I'm here speaking on behalf of the Douglas County Arab Modelers Club. So, a little bit more, not just old guys go there like these guys were talking about. Younger guys go there to fly, and also they bring their children. We also provide the facility for younger kids to have innovation about aviation and so on. So the facility provides us a location to safely fly, and also allows us to fly RC planes without having a FAA license. So anything over 250 grams, which is about a half a pound, you need a federal license to fly in certain places. Because the FAA has given us the airspace up to 400 feet, we're allowed to fly there only with our insurance cards, which every club member has to have, aside from the insurance that the club also needs. So it's been a little over a month now, and we hadn't been able to have access. It's summertime, we weren't able to take our kids out, have a good time. It's a good time for everybody, and those that are innovative, and also entertaining for those that want to, that are into aviation. And this is our outlet. And because it's closed now, we don't have that. Again, you can go to some parks and fly, but unfortunately, because of the size of some of our airplanes, we just can't fly there. So it limits us to, something this tiny when we got airplanes that are 7 feet and, wingspan length. So it would be good to get back in there, get kids back in there, get families back in there, because that's our entertainment on the weekends or after work or before work or whatever have you. So it'd be nice to try to get that open as soon as possible. Okay, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you
Hope
so
you guys
much.
consider that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anthony.
Thank you.
Madam
Ne-
Clerk?
Next, we have Henry Mitchell IV. Okay. We'll go on to our next speaker, Devin Daniels.
Good morning. Devin Daniels, 3685 Renfro Avenue. Just to piggyback, I'm the vice president of the Douglas County Club, Air Modelers Club. And just to piggyback on what we were saying, even I myself, so I joined the club back in October and re-sparked my own love for aviation and went to go get my pilot certs, and I'm now a pilot. So just to speak on the importance of the area, and then two, as Anthony just said, some of our planes, like my biggest plane was like 2.5 meters big. And so we need a safe space to be able to fly these planes and not have to worry about people under it, because that's one of the AMA rules, right? You can't fly over buildings, you can't fly over people for obvious reasons. You have a spinning prop, could cut somebody, things could happen. And as we mentioned earlier, we've been up here for about 40 years, and that hasn't happened at the field. And that's because we have our own, rules and regulations. We listen to the state, the county, FAA, AMA. So we're a responsible group of individuals that just like to fly planes, and I feel like we, should be able to do that. That's about it. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Daniels. We certainly will take this matter under advisement. Madam Clerk?
That was it.
That's it? All right. All right, Board of Commissioners, we have heard the public comment this morning, and we're going to move on to our next item. We have a presentation this morning from our tax commissioner for update on the collection rate. Good morning, Tax Commissioner Gregory Baker.
Good morning, Commissioners. How are you?
We are doing
This is our
absolutely amazing.
mid-review for you that we do every year. So we're going to give you a presentation. I don't do long presentations, as you know. I try to get straight to the point, tell you where we are, and you have questions, you can ask questions, or you come by the office or call. But I'm going to get straight to the point and not keep you long, and give you an idea of where you stand at this point in the mid part of the year. And with that being said, I'm going to get my staff up here who are my experts. I can't do everything, so I have experts that do certain things and I do certain things. So they're going to give you a presentation of where we are right now. Miss, you're up first.
Good morning. Tanya, if you state your name.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tanya Plord. I'm the finance manager for the Douglas County Tax Commissioner's Office. And let's see, today I have a presentation, like Mr. Baker said, just to go over some collection points. Let's see. Oh, I can't find my mouse. All right, so our first slide right here shows our property tax collection rate for the past 5 years. It looks pretty good. We're at 99-point-something% for the past 4 prior years. This year, it lists 98.47%. That was of June 30th. However, to date, this morning, we are at 98.60. We're at 98.60%. And with our upcoming tax sale, we hope that that will make it into the 99% mark shortly. Let's see. Next slide talks about the amounts of the 2024 digest collected. So as of December 31st, 2024, we had collected almost $200,000 in property tax, or in real tax, and almost $200 million in property and real tax, and $23 million in personal. At the end of the year, we had $21 million left uncollected. As of this point, or at June 30th, 2025, we had $3.7 million left uncollected. I do want to dig down into that number a little bit more. These numbers are for the digest as a whole, not just specifically for the county. So I have some numbers specifically for the county portion as well. To date, right now, the county has left on the books as receivable for this past year $1.1 million for personal property, or for real and personal tax. And then the county TAD has a receivable left of $1,600. So we're looking pretty good, and with our upcoming August tax sale, I think those numbers will look substantially better. The next slide goes over the county collections year by year for the past 5 years. In 2020, we start out with giving the county $56 million in property tax and $8.8 million in motor vehicle taxes. Each year, the property tax has continued to climb. Our motor vehicle has, stayed at a good steady route for the past 4 years. It's went up and down some, but stays around the middle of the line in about the same places. And then our next slide, my last slide, is a comparison of 2023 versus 2024. Even you can tell that in 2024 we collected substantially more, but there was also a difference in the millage rates. As you can see, for 2023 the millage rate was higher, and then in 2024 the millage rate was lower, but despite that we still brought in a significant amount more. And comparably, the entire total of the digest for 2023, we had brought that total in by the end of the year for 2024. And those numbers look fairly well as well. And that is all I have. Do y'all have any questions?
Okay, thank you so much. Board, we have any questions for our Finance Director of the Tax Commissioner's Office? Any questions?
Yes.
Commissioner Braxton, you have the floor.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
So just on some of the charts there, you'll be curious to see what was collected as of date and time. So as an example, 6/30/2024 versus 6/30/2025. Do we have any comparisons like that?
Yeah.
Versus the end of the year versus mid-year?
Yeah, hold on just a second. Let me pull those. All right. So where we ended on June 30, 2024, at that point, we had 3.9 left to collect. Or, no, wait, hold on. Let's see here. Yes, let's see. Okay, so as of, 6/30/2024, so that would be for the 2023 digest, we had 3.9 left to collect. At this point, we have 1.1 on the books left to collect.
Okay.
For county-wise. So comparatively, we've collected quite a bit more at this standpoint than we did last year at that standpoint. Also keep in mind that's good, seeing as how the millage rate lowered as opposed to how it was higher in 2023.
Okay, great. All right, and then you indicated that as of right now, we have a collection rate of 98.6%.
Yes.
And we think it will go even higher, maybe get back into the 99%
Yeah,
before the end
I'm
of the year.
hoping that after the, our August tax sale is the first week in August, and so that I'm hoping that after that tax sale, that we can reach that 99% mark.
All right, great. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any
Madam
other
Chair-
questions?
Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Braxton. Any other questions forward? Commissioner Mitchell, the Finance Chair, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Can you go back to your collection? Let me go back to the numbers. I think you had a 1.1 mil of real and personal property taxes. Was that collected or what you was looking to collect? And I'm making sure I've got the right year.
Okay, you were saying what's left to collect for the county?
Yes.
Yes, okay, let me see, let me go to those numbers.
And then there was like 1,000 or 600, something like that you said. I was just trying to make
Yeah.
sure the numbers kind of add up. Take me back there again.
Yeah, okay, so let's see, let me go to slide in comparison here.
Right.
All right, so this slide right here, this slide right here reflects the entirety of the digest, is what I was saying. This includes school, county, cities, all that. What I was speaking to is specifically for the county, is that the amounts collected that we have for the county, say if comparative to that 6/30/2025, how it says 3.7 million, that is for everyone. What is left for the county to receive that is on the books is 1.1 million.
Got it.
And then the 1,600 number I mentioned was the county tab. That is how much is left in receivable for us to get for the county tab.
Okay, that's what that was. Okay.
And those were numbers as of June 30th, 2025, just for the county's portion.
Got it. And so that we're clear though, even though you guys are at a great percentage of 98.6 and for the last 4 or 5 years, I think if my math is correct, which is great. I think that's great. But let's be clear, you're going to still go after that 0.2 or whatever that is, and that's not new money. And I don't want to get confusing with new money? Sure, yeah. Because I don't want to get that misconception that we found some new money.
Right, no, it's not new money, it's just, but those numbers that I was speaking to specifically.
Can you go back up to the, yeah.
Those
okay.
numbers that I was speaking to specifically just touch on what was from Digest 2024.
I understand.
We are continually collecting back taxes from 2023 that were
Right.
generated, 2022, and so on.
Right.
These numbers speak specifically just, to this current year.
Right. And I'll tell you why I say that, but I'm going to let Ja go
Good
ahead.
morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Madam Chair.
Could
in
you state
rega-
your name for the record?
Oh, my name is Janita Walker, Executive Assistant to Tax Commissioner, Mr. Greg Baker. In regards to that other remaining percentage that's usually uncollectible that you see almost every single year falling back to back to back, most of those also are insolvent properties.
Okay.
That's why we tried to introduce the land bank last year. And if you guys would like, we can bring back again the attorney that can speak on behalf of the land bank, where then that money can be converted into the county's money instead of it being out, like just laying out there. Another thing that we are going to do, I do have a folder that I'm working on with those insolvent properties to see which ones we can actually clear off the books, so that way there's a lot of slither of lands, especially with the Department of Transportation cutting through lands, but then it's not plotted properly. So we have slithers that continue to collect. They collect interest, penalties, and over the years they continue collecting. So those are all monies that should be insolvent properties. So we'll do a presentation, and that will help also that 99% mark get even smaller.
So would that go into a land bank situation?
It all depends if the
Okay.
county actually introduces that. We did do a
Right.
presentation. Tax Commissioner Baker had brought in a speaker last year on it. She's open to come back again and revisit this situation, and then that may be something that the county may want to do. We do have different counties within Georgia that are doing the land banks, and they use it for different opportunities, especially for towers, for well storage, and it can bring in some more money into the county.
Understood. I'm very familiar with the land bank. But I don't know, Commissioner Greg Baker, you want to kind of talk to that as well?
Like I said, we brought in one of our experts last year to talk to you guys about it. Actually, the finance director and I have been talking about it also, Mr. Dominic. We are on the same page. We're going to meet with the county manager here pretty soon, so he can do a presentation for you, because there's money out there for that.
Correct.
And if we get the land bank, we can sell those properties and bring you more revenue in. So the finance manager and I have been talking about it. As soon as we're done, we're going to meet with the county manager and present it to you guys to see if you want to do it. We've been looking at other ways of bringing in money for the county. We know there's money out there to be collected. And I can tell you, our meeting the other day was phenomenal. We came up with money that was not been collected. I know the assessor's meeting with Breezy. He's been emailing her that money that we're going to see how far back we got to go.
Right.
And I can tell you those meetings have been very good here lately, and we've found a lot of companies that have not paid their share of taxes, only because they were missed. But we're going to go back and collect those things, and they weren't missed purposely. It was just a misunderstanding. So we're finding out quite a bit. The committee we got now are on board. When I say phenomenal, we've been doing a phenomenal job. And I got to thank Commissioner Jones. She's on top of it. She will email us and get the information some way, shape, or form, and I look forward to doing that. And but it is the land bank that we're looking at, and hopefully when we get done with that, we'll collect those funds from the land bank also.
And would that be considered new funds or new money?
That would be considered new money because we haven't had a land bank.
Right,
So
right.
that would be new money.
Right. And the only reason I'm asking it that way is so we can state it for the general public to understand that there are some potential new monies, but this existence here is not new money.
No, that's not new money. That's
Correct.
just, when we collect stuff that's not been collected for real estate and personal, that's old, that's pretty much old money.
Right.
That we're going back and we're finding that we haven't collected on, we're going back, finding those properties, and we're going back and collecting on. So.
Got you.
You
Okay.
got more on that?
Any?
So, anything you going to add to that? I didn't.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. I'll yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell.
Oh.
You
Oh.
want to say something?
Our Chief
Okay.
Financial Officer, you have something to add? There you go, you have the floor.
Good morning, Madam Chair,
Good morning.
Commissioners, County Administration. I just wanted to clarify, when we say new money, if it's from land bank, properties that are no longer active or repossessed, they're new money, but they're not recurring revenue.
Understood.
So it's just going to be one time
Right.
windfall.
Through the land bank is what you're speaking of.
Correct.
Yes, understood.
Okay.
Yes. Very familiar with it, though. Yes. Okay. Mhm.
You had one more thing? That was it? That was it? You didn't have anything on the agenda? Oh. Okay, any questions?
Okay.
Anything
Any
else?
other questions, board?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
If you could just touch on one thing for me, and the Finance Director, Tanya, if you could, you mentioned TAD. Can you tell me a little bit more about the TAD?
Yeah.
Okay, is it the one, I just want to make sure I don't want to get ahead. Just-
Yeah, let me get my numbers together for it. Let's see. All right, for the county TAD, so this is its second year on collections. The first year was 2023. I want to say roughly, I don't have those numbers in front of me, but I want to say that the total original receivable for the Douglas County TAD was somewhere around $330,000. It was collected. There's no receivable. I know that there's no receivable left on the 2023 portion of the county TAD. For 2024's portion of the county TAD, it started out with a receivable of $634,891. And all of that has been collected but $1,600.
$1,600.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I
Because
need.
it's a much smaller, area, so we're able to collect on that one a lot better, and so that looks really good.
Okay, good. Thank you for clarifying. I
Thank
just
you.
was a little confused when you said 16 remaining, 1,600, but I didn't know what you
Yes,
had already
1,600
collected.
remaining.
But you have already collected 634,891.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions, board? Okay, Commissioner Kenner Jones, you have the floor.
I just would like to acknowledge the work of Commissioner Baker and his staff. You all have spent hundreds and hundreds of hours through our tax abatement committee, in addition to performing the duties of your regular job. So I commend you for that. Your openness to change processes is definitely going to make a huge difference for our Douglas County residents, and so your hard work definitely doesn't go unnoticed. And I wish that Tax Assessor Balfour was here too, because I think the relationship that you all are having between that office as well is definitely going to help us continue to be in that 99 percentile, if not better, and making sure that we're bringing in every dollar that's owed to the citizens of this county. So thank you very much for all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just want to say one more thing. Thank you guys for all your support. I think you recognize what we do, and we hope to get better, and we're still looking for dollars, as you know. And I come up with ideas, and I run them by you guys. And there's dollars out there, and we're going to get it collected for you. All right? Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you all for coming in today. Again, I would like to echo what Commissioner Kenner Jones said. You all are doing a phenomenal job, and I appreciate the hard work. And I know it's a long, hot summer, but you all have paved the way, and we appreciate you. Thank you. Madam Clerk, let me go to next. Also, tomorrow we will have the introduction of interns, of our summer interns, and we're so excited. And that presentation will be rendered by Tiffany Stewart Stanley. She will have the presentation. Our Chief of Staff will introduce our interns tomorrow. So thank you so much, and we look forward to the introductions tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have the recognition of employees of UA brands by Fire Chief Miles Allen. So that will be done as well. Okay, Board of Commissioners, we'll move to next to the commissioners, which will be our agenda adoption. Commissioners, are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda? Are there any changes at this time? If none, do we have a motion to approve the agenda, Board?
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. We have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries to accept the approval of the agenda. Board of Commissioners, let's be mindful as a reminder, each of us have 3 minutes to make remarks with a 2-minute rebuttal as we indulge in our work session this morning. And then next is the approval of the minutes, and we just did that. I just asked tomorrow that you be prepared to review the minutes this evening or prior to, and be prepared to approve or deny accordingly. Also, our financial report, be prepared to adopt the financial budget report for the month of May in tomorrow's meeting, with which was deferred from our last meeting, so please be prepared to do so. Also, we will begin our agenda items. Clerk, you have the first agenda items, and you have the floor, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Tomorrow, we will have a proclamation proclaiming the month of July as Parks and Rec Month in Douglas County, and Chad Griffin will be here to present that. Number 5, under grants, we have authorization to accept the GEMA HS Fiscal Year 2024 Emergency Management Performance Grant, EMPG, in the amount of $39,721 with a 50% match to be funded by the EMA Director's salary, amend the budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. James Queen here? He's not here this morning, so we'll move on to the next one. Number 6 is approval to accept the aging subgrant agreement with the Atlanta Regional Commission for the period of July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 in the amount of $815,217.87 with an in-kind match of $50,402.64 to be funded through Senior Services Department budget, amend the budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Consuela Gilchrist.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, and County Administration. Yes,
Good morning.
Good morning. This is our annual agreement with the Atlanta Regional Commission, and the grant supports our work in our home delivered meals, congregate, respite, home modification, material aid, assistive technology, and non-emergency medical transportation.
Okay. Any questions, Board, regarding this grant?
Yes.
Commissioner Braxton, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Dr.
Good
Gilbert.
morning.
I'm just curious, from 2024 to 2025, has the grant amount improved, or has it stayed pretty consistent? Just trying to get an idea what the trend looks like.
Right, yes. Each year, we do receive some additional funding through the Atlanta Regional Commission. They divide the funding up amongst the 10 counties that they support through this particular grant. And so our request and our ask to help support the needs of the citizens in the county, we have additional funding for home modification, for respite care, for caregivers.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I was just curious, like from 2024 was the funds, I know like for 2025, we're looking at 815,000. I was just curious for 2024, was it around the same amount? And how are we seeing an increase? Just kind of get an idea what the trend may be.
It's an increase,
It's
yes,
an
sir.
increase, okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right,
That's
great.
good.
All right.
Any
Thank
other
you, Madam Chair. I
questions?
yield the floor back to you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Braxton. Any other questions for Dr. Gilchrist? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 7 is authorization to accept the fiscal year 26 accountability court operating grant from the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council in the amount of $143,155 with a match of $25,263 to be funded through the department's existing budget for the Family Treatment Court Program, establish the budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Jamie Dappermont.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
Board of Commissioners.
Good morning.
This is our operating grant through the Council of Accountability Court Judges. This grant will go towards funding a portion of the salary for our coordinator and our clinical case manager, as well as providing drug screening services and treatment services to our participants. And new for this year, it will also expand our peer support services to include services for males through peer support.
Okay. Any questions for our Mr. Dapprenport, our manager?
Yes, ma'am.
I ruined your last name. I apologize. You have the floor.
All right, thank you.
I said Port. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm used to it.
I call him Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie
All
works.
right. Good morning.
Good morning, Mark.
Just was curious, again, along those same lines, are we seeing an increase from 2024 to 25 in those grant amounts?
So our funding is really dependent upon our needs. So we build our budget based on the needs that we're seeing as far as our census within our population. So our budget stays pretty flat across the year. So we haven't seen huge increases. This year we are getting approximately $3,000 or $4,000 more than we received the year before.
Okay. And then with the items 7 and 8, do all the accountability court operating grants require a match?
Yes, all of the operating grants will require a match.
Okay, they will. Okay, thank you. All right, Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Raxton. Any other questions, board? All right, Madam Clerk, you have the next item.
Number 8 is
Jamie.
number 8 is authorization to accept the fiscal year 26 Accountability Court Operating Grant from the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council in the amount of $139,330 with a match of $24,588 to be funded through the department's existing budget for the Chance Court program. Establish the budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Jamie?
And so this is for the Chance Court program, the juvenile treatment court. This grant funds the other portion of the salaries for the accountability court coordinator and the clinical case manager, and also provides drug screening and treatment services for those participants.
Any questions, board? No questions. Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Okay. Number 9, authorization to accept the fiscal year 26 Juvenile Justice Incentive Grant from the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council in the amount of $253,000 with no match. Establish the budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Jamie?
Now, this grant is through the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. It is for moderate to high-risk youth. This grant provides aggression replacement training, Botvin's life skills, and functional family therapy to participants involved in the juvenile court system. This grant does not include a match, and this is, I believe, our 13th year receiving this grant.
Okay. Any questions for Jamie? Okay.
Okay. We'll move to our business items. Number 10, approval of a master services agreement with 7 Challenges LLC in the amount of $14,060 for the first year and an annual fidelity fee of $4,120 in subsequent years to train and implement the 7 Challenges treatment program to be funded by the fiscal year 24 Juvenile Drug Treatment Court Program Grant, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Jamie?
So as part of this grant, we were able to start a intensive outpatient treatment program for both males and females through the Chance Court program. This master services agreement is for us to get the curriculum to be able to do that treatment program. So 7 Challenges is the gold standard for adolescent substance use and mental health treatment. This site license will allow for us to become proficient in that curriculum and provide it to our participants. We'll be partnering with local provider Recovery Unlimited, who's going to actually do the treatment services, but our staff as well will be trained in the model so that we can also support the outpatient treatment by providing it during our case management.
Any questions for Jamie?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Braxton, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. So between today and tomorrow, I'm just trying to back into the $14,060 that's being requested. Because when I look at page 13 on the fees during the statement of work is asking for $13,340. So I'm just trying to back into the 14.
So the total cost for the first year is the fidelity fee, the site license fee, and then training costs. There may be a difference in there because the trainers have to come to us so that the we have to reimburse them for mileage and meals and stuff of that nature. So that may be the difference that you're looking at in the price.
Okay, well, if you can just, like I said, between today and tomorrow,
Yep.
just trying to back into what's being requested for the 14,060.
Correct.
I see on page 13, you're saying 1334. Okay. All right, thank you. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Raxton. Any other question, board? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jamie.
Okay. Number 11, we have approval of the 2025 through 2026 annual renewal agreement with Tyler Technologies for technology taxing system utilized by the Tax Commissioner's Office, Assessor's Office, and the GIS Office in the amount of $254,715 to be funded through the Tax Commissioner's Office, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Janera Walker.
Good morning once again, Commissioners and Madam Chair. So we're here just for the approval of our 2025-2026 Tyler Technology Agreement. We all work with this CAMA program. This is how the assessors put in their information and how we do our collections. GIS also works on the same program when it comes to the plotting and the mapping and addressing the new addresses for homeowners.
Okay. Any questions, board?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I just want to ask the question for the record, are there any gaps between the Tyler Technology application on what the tax assessors, the board, the tax commissioner's office, and GIS are seeing? Is there any
Nope.
gaps there with the software
No,
application?
as we're working and doing updates, everybody's live together. That's why it's called a CAMA program. So we're all working on the same database, same intel. As you hit enter, I'm seeing that, and I'm seeing that it came from you. If you're working on something currently, it's going to be locked by you, and I can see that on my end as well, that you're currently working on it. And any future year changes that they're making, we can see that as well.
Okay. All right, well, that's good to know there.
Yes.
I'm not sure that's always been the case, so that's good to hear that. And then Tyler Technology, how has been their level of support to us as a county?
They've been really good, very responsive. We put in tickets, but whenever we have emergencies, you always have that emergency person that you can get to push it to the top level. They've been working also with all of the legislative changes, so like House Bill 581s and everything, they go ahead and they implement that on the back end. So it's not something that we had to ask for or inform them of ahead of time. They've been present at every single meeting.
Okay. All right. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Commissioner Raxton. Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes. Just one question back to the Tyler Technologies. We went back to Tyler Technologies based on the other software that we thought didn't kind of stand up.
No, that is incorrect. We
Okay.
always had the Tyler Technology.
Okay.
Previously in the past, we had two different systems. We had
Okay.
the WinGap system, which the assessors were using,
Right.
and we were using TaxMain. So what would happen is that we would have to wait every year for the assessors to lock us out and drop in that information. Versus Tyler Technology, we work at CAMA, so everything, like I was telling Commissioner Raxton, is that we are live together. Every changes are implemented firsthand. The other system that we were talking about was a separate system called TrueRoll.
Okay.
That they were supposed to go into our Tyler and do inquiries and clean up, but had failed to do so.
Understood.
So we're running now those inquiries by ourselves with the help of Tyler Technologies.
Got it. And so this structure works a lot better.
Yes.
For GSI, GIS, you guys, and the Board of Assessors.
That is correct, because even with the deed change and everything, they happen live. So let's say, for instance, like with those inquiries, if a homestead was to be dropped, we see automatically when they purchased the home, when the owner came into play, and the reasons why we're dropping those owners, if so, or if somebody applied, vice versa.
Right.
We have proof there of when they actually applied, when they went into the system, everything is live, so we're speaking to each other.
Got it. And how are you guys addressing those that actually go out and have two homestead exemptions or have additional homestead exemptions in Cobb County and Fulton County, some other place?
So with the inquiries that we're doing and we're picking up on those, we are sending what is called a 30-day letter. So you as a resident of Douglas County are going to receive a 30-day letter. You have to respond within that 30-day. If not, we are going to remove your homestead exemption. You either give us proof of residency in Douglas County and also send a letter from the former county saying, hey, we have removed homestead from Fulton County.
Right.
That way we can go ahead and approve it. If we don't receive that letter, we will remove that homestead. So you have 30 days.
So make sure I'm getting this correct. How do you even know that someone may have homestead exemption elsewhere outside of
We
Douglas
have
County?
Accurant. So with the
Okay.
inquiries, we're using Accurant, which is a software program who does that. It'll tell you if you have dual residency.
Got it.
Or if you're married and your spouse has residency somewhere
Good.
else. Then we're able to go in on the back end and we
Mm-hmm.
can check to see if that property has homestead. And if it does, then we'll send that cute
That
little
letter.
30-day
There
letter.
you go. That's what I was looking for. That
Okay.
then you'll send that letter out because you
Yes.
been made aware that
And we
potentially-
attach the actual proof to it so
Mm-hmm.
that they can know exactly where the source is coming from. And some people will send in their removal letter from that county, and some people would say, hey, it's higher in Fulton County, so let's remove the one from Douglas County. We've had vice versa.
Got it. And good. So at least you got something in place to try to offset those that kind of used to their
Yes.
advantage
Yes.
2 and 3 different homestead exemptions, and that will follow for any exemption or just homestead.
It's going to be for any exemption. Homestead comes in different levels, as you know. So
Right.
even like a surviving spouse, or
Mhm.
let's say, for
Right.
instance, you're a veteran.
Mhm.
The veterans have requirements as well that they have to submit.
Mhm.
Seniors have requirements as well that they have to submit. And like I said, with the inquiry, we're also reaching out to seniors who are actually over the age and they don't have that full capacity of the exemption that they can be approved for.
Got it.
So we are reaching out to them as well and sending them a 30-day letter, letting them know, hey, you are over the age, you were marked in the system. If you come in and bring in the proof of income or you bring in your documents required, we can go ahead and approve you for the senior exemption, which is higher.
Right. And how are we planning to address those properties of seniors, speaking of seniors, that may fall in the category of having, with this new bill and everything that's kind of coming out there with land over 3
The
to 5 acres?
5-acre gap,
Yeah.
that
how we-
only falls into place to those properties in Villa Rica, and those have been addressed.
Okay.
And ones in Asta, which they didn't have anybody with that 5-acre gap. As for Douglas County, that doesn't affect us at all because we didn't vote into that. We didn't opt into that House Bill
Correct.
581. That only comes into play to Villa Rica.
Got it.
And they have addressed that as well. The assessor's office have been reaching out to them.
Well, great job. Thank you. Thank you to you and the tax commissioner. Job well done. Thank you. And I yield back.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Any other questions, board? All right.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay. Number 12, approval of a juvenile dependency and family treatment court contract amendment, changing the contractor's name from Anais Lopez Brown to Star Law LLC, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Ashley Rogers.
Good morning. So one of our FTC, our Family Treatment Court attorneys, has taken a job elsewhere. She was kind enough to help us find an attorney to fill her role. So that attorney, law firm, will be essentially just stepping into her shoes, taking all of her cases and continuing on with Family Treatment Court.
Okay. Any questions, board, for Ms. Rogers? Okay.
Just one, Madam Chair. So, is there any adjustment in dollars and cents, or just a lateral?
Completely lateral.
Oh, okay, all right. I yield back. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, board? Thank you so much, Ms.
Thank you.
Rogers. Have a great day. Okay. You have the floor, Madam Clerk.
Number 13 is approval of a contract with Otis Elevator in the amount of $79,831.47 for service to create an elevator opening stop on the first floor, new holding cell area of the juvenile courtrooms, to be funded by adopted resolution number 25-156, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Stephanie Morgan.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This contract will allow Otis Elevator to come in and create an opening and stop for the inmate holding cell area off the 2 new courtrooms we're creating on the first floor.
Any questions, board, for our director, Morgan? No questions?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Number 14, authorization for the chairman to sign the annual Federal Transit Administration, PTASP, which is Public Transportation Agency Safety Plan, pending final legal review. Ron Roberts.
Madam Chair, good morning, Commissioners, Administration, citizens. Yes, ma'am. So we need to get this document signed by the chair. It is the Public Transit Agency Safety Plan. It outlines what we do internally for safety management systems and how we track things and all the safety components that goes into transit. It's a required document. I like to also want to thank Justin McDermott, Risk and Safety. He was very helpful in helping us pull this together last year and then also updating it this year. And that's what's before you. It does say here that legal review, but I've actually talked to legal about this particular document. It's more of a technical. It's not really a legal document other than just what their requirement is a signature from Madam Chair, and then once the minutes are approved from this meeting later in the month, then I'll send the meeting's minutes with that. I'm here for any questions.
Okay. Thank you so much, Director Roberts. Any questions for our director? Okay, no
Thank you.
questions.
Okay. Number 15, approval of a contract with South Georgia Milling and Cleanup Services, LLC, in the amount of $3,610,138.78 for the 2025 patching, milling, and resurfacing of various Douglas County roads to be funded by 2022 SPLOST and LMIG funding, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Jatara Ross.
Good morning. Greetings, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Board of Commissioners, County Administration. On behalf of Director Choice, a background with this: every year DOT proposes resurfacing of various roadways funded through a state grant called LMIG, which is Local Maintenance and Improvement Grant, and yearly SPLOST allocation. We're proposing resurfacing with a planned budget of the $3,089,205.86, of which $1,505,872.53 would have been with the LMIG grant, and SPLOST 2022 funds, $1,583,333.33. Out of the 11 responses received, South Georgia Milling and Cleanup Services was the lowest and most responsive bidder at the cost of $3,610,138.78. With the LMAG grant at the same cost with the $1.5 million plus the $2.1 million from SPLOST, that would bring us to the 3.6 as with the lowest bid. Of note, that increase of the $2,104,266.25 from SPLOST would be an allocation that's covered from the previous 2 years of resurfacing contracts.
Okay. Thank you so much, Deputy Director Ross. Any questions for our Deputy Director?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
So once the contract has been approved or signed off on, what's kind of the term? When will the work begin? When will it end?
I'm going to have either Mr. King or Julia, if you want to.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning.
Good
Morning.
morning.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just curious, when will the work begin and proceed, if approved, as what was the timeline for it to start and complete?
It's usually about 30 days to get the contract signed, get the bonds back in place, legal review. So you're probably looking at, I'm going to say mid-August of getting started.
Okay. And then that will run through until when?
It's a 120-day contract.
120 days, okay, thank you. Okay. All right, thank you. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much, Manager King. Thank you. Any other questions
Yes,
for our
I
Deputy
just have one.
Director? Oh,
Okay.
you need.
I have one.
Mr.
Oh, no,
King?
I
Okay,
don't.
you're good.
No,
Okay.
staff is fine. Staff is
Deputy
fine.
Director Ross, you have the floor.
Yeah, so the SPLOST dollars that you're using out of 2022 SPLOST dollars, roughly, I'm just a little surprised that we're still even dipping in that bucket, which is fine, but or do you have an idea of what's kind of left in there that's dealing in transportation and this? And if you don't have it, that's okay, I'm just curious. Oh, here we go. I know some.
What are you asking?
What's left in the SPLOST 2022 budget?
Even after you do this particular project, I mean, because, I mean, I'm assuming there's still monies left in that 2022 SPLOST.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
For the Transportation Department, they had over $30 million allocated.
Okay.
And what we're doing in the process with Managing Director Reyna, even though he's not here, we are working through and establishing program budgets for
Right.
each line item of the approved projects for the budget. This one is one of the many projects. When I come up and talk about the next couple of projects, we'll kind of be addressing that, but right now he has plenty of funds. He has over $12 million remaining in the overall SPLOST allocations available to spend on this project.
So within that category, though, it's still broken out into each district to fairly be distributed, or what's that look like?
I don't get into the district portion at this point. I know Managing Director Reyna is managing to the districts. I just don't know what his requirement is at that level, and I will circle back with him to find that out.
Can you speak to that, though? Just curious.
Yeah, good morning. Yes, the
Good morning.
projects are listed out by district.
Correct.
Already.
Mhm.
And that becomes, so we're talking about funding it versus a decision that y'all have already made.
Correct.
About the list of projects.
Got it. So the list of projects are already there.
Correct.
And the disbursement of those projects, the funding of those projects are, I guess, will happen as we get to those, or get around to it, and it'll be dispersed in a fashion that you said 12 or 13 million that's left over will be at least distributed throughout the districts. They're fairly.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. And I don't need an exact number, though. I'm not.
Just to give an idea, some of the projects that are part of the allocation for 2022 is Chapel Hill, Post Road,
Right.
Highway 166. All those have different, affect
Absolutely.
different districts.
Right.
Into this particular one, this, according to Deputy Director Jatara, I'm sorry, I just can't think of
Ross.
Ross. I couldn't think of the last name. That's averaging about 1.84 per district.
Okay, okay. I was just more or less listening for that it will be dispersed,
Yes.
Equally throughout the districts. Not that it's going to be perfectly distributed, and based on the movement and programming of each one could differ,
So in particular, the contract that is on the agenda today is to fund projects that this board has already approved.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood. Okay. And looks like Dominique was trying to jump to the, okay, all right. All right, so on that note, thank you very much. Good. And I appreciate that part of it, and which is okay. And we'll get to the details, as to what I'm actually looking for in the end. So you're fine. I yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Any other questions for Deputy Director Ross? All right, thank you so much.
you.
Okay. Number 16, approval to enter into an agreement between Employee Health Group and Douglas County Human Resources to provide health and wellness services in an amount not to exceed $17,692 from August 1st through December 31st, 2025, to be funded by full reimbursement from Anthem Wellness Grant, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Danielle Nichols.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners, and Administration. Engagement Health Group is a full-service health and well-being provider. They have experience not only with private sector organizations, but they have a wealth of experience facilitating the health and well-being programs within counties in Georgia as well as municipalities. So the HR department is looking to engage Engagement Health Group, also known as EHG, to assist us with facilitating some of our health and well-being programs. Specifically, we want to utilize their Tier 1 services, which consist of a health and well-being platform that will allow us to engage our employee population by the organization creating a wellness calendar, wellness newsletters for us, as well as quarterly health breaks and quarterly online challenges and wellness campaigns. So the funding for their services will be paid through reimbursement through our universal wellness grant with Anthem, who is our healthcare provider. So I am happy to answer any questions that you all may have at this time.
Okay, thank you so much, Managing Director Nichols. Any questions for our Managing Director?
I just
Commissioner
have
Mitchell,
one.
you have the floor.
I just have one. So if I'm hearing you correctly, Anthem Wellness will pay this 17 as a reimbursement.
Correct.
And so it's basically is not a cost to the county. It's really a reimbursement from Anthem Wellness.
That's correct. So as a part of our renewal, they do offer, meaning Anthem offers an annual universal grant. And so what happens is when we utilize services that fall under the grant, we submit the receipts to Anthem for reimbursement. And it's tracked by the grants department within finance.
But it requires, I'm assuming, that you guys have to create, or they create these types of programs that falls under this particular grant dollar? Or?
Yes,
Okay.
so EHG will create, they offer a plethora of services, but what we're specifically looking to utilize is their health and well-being platform, which will allow us to more effectively engage our employee capital, human capital, our employee population by creating calendar of events, health breaks, and so forth for us to disseminate out to the employee population. And so as a result, what we like to do is to incentivize our employees by participating in the various campaigns. And so we, meaning the HR department, will be responsible for the rewards that are associated with participation in the program.
And so what are the rewards? Dollars and cents, or eating out moments, or just coming?
No, they may consist of healthy type incentives, such as
Healthy eating,
maybe
working out for a day.
a Fitbit, an Apple Watch, yoga equipment, so on and so forth.
Okay. All righty, do we qualify? No, just kidding. Okay, thank you very
Well,
much.
since you all are my the county's VIPs, sometimes the HR department will send you up special gift bags.
Oh, well, we get a gift bag. Got it. Okay, thank you. All right, I yield. Thank you. I yield back, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. All right. Any other questions for our Managing Director? If not, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, number 17, approval of a change order number 3 for Rayland for the Public Works Transfer Station and Recycling New Build Project Special Inspections in the amount of $22,481.68 to be funded by 2022 SPLOST funds, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Julia Janko.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, County Administration. I have an error in my amendment or my proposal agenda. It technically should read a change in the building code versus special inspections. There's a change in the code that requires this change, not a special inspections. But leading into that, in the course of this conversation, since this change order was put on the agenda, and as of Thursday, I got yet another change order from the same vendor, and it brought up to my attention when I went back to review the contract, we did not put a contingency in the contract for change orders. So basically, it's requiring me to nickel and dime you guys to death with every time we do any changes on this project. Typically, in a normal project, we take the contract plus 5 to 10% and set aside a contingency. We did not do this in this case. So every time there's a change, I'm coming back and saying, I need more money. And that is not the way I want to do business. It was just, when this came about, I was still new and learning the process and helping write contracts. And so I've learned a lot of lessons since then. And I like to propose that maybe instead of changing it to the corrected language, we change it to add $100,000 contingency budget for this project, and not to, follow contract and legal requirements, but that would be still less than what we do. We still have about another 3 to 4 months on this project. It's 2 parts. The recycling center will be done in September, and the rest of the transfer station would be done in October. But we're still finding things like roads that need to be adjusted, going up into the facility, drainage. Things are just typical project-related things that show up. That I did not have time to socialize this with anyone prior to the meeting, but in the course of looking at this Thursday and over the weekend and reviewing it, talking to Director Cowart, we really feel like this would be more productive use of your time if we go ahead and establish a contingency budget that we can tap into related to the project. Right now, the whole project for the transfer station is running $6,300,000 is what Managing Director Reyna has set aside out of his $30 million budget, which comes out to be roughly 21% of his overall budget. And what we're trying to do is keep it within that 6.3. So this contingency keeps it way within that allocation, keeps us from coming back to the board every time we turn around and we need a change. But potentially that may be an alternative idea versus just amending the language. So I don't know how you want to proceed.
Okay, thank you so much, Director Jenka. Any comments, boards, or remarks to the statement? Commissioner Kenna-Jones, you have the floor.
So I'm glad that you brought that up, because I noticed a lot of times when we're in Transportation Committee, this one is running a little bit different than the other projects. And as you mentioned, they do have set aside contingencies. So if the 100K is set aside, which is already in the budget, it's already accounted for. It's not like you're asking the Board of Commissioners for an additional $100,000. I presume whatever is not used would go back into the regular budget. So are you asking that this be removed to give you time to work with legal and Director Rana so that you can work out the appropriate language and then bring that back tomorrow, so that we're not approving what's currently written, so that you can get it structured the way you want it?
Yes, ma'am.
I yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Kenna-Jones. Any other remarks, board? Okay. Sounds like you have some marching orders.
Thank you.
Director. All right, thank you. Madam Clerk?
Yes, ma'am. Number 18, approval of a contract with Geo Hydro Engineers for $12,000 for the renovation special inspections needed for the Selman Drive Library, to be funded by 2022 SPLOST funds, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Lindy Moore.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, this is a special inspection that needs to be completed before the construction project can begin. I'm going to defer to Julia for more of the details. The geohydro.
Geohydro is the special inspections for Selman Library. Typically, we do them on new construction, but because in this particular project, it's both the vendor, Batson Cook, both did the design for the renovations as well as they're going to be doing the construction work. We do need somebody to come in there and verify what they're doing, executing in the construction is also in alignment to their design, and it just protects us as a county. Special things like, because the building's already built, there's not going to be like a lot of groundbreaking or anything, but there's a couple of things like moving walls, some plumbing or electrical needs. We just need to make sure that we're safe as a county, where they're following the rules.
Okay. Any questions, board? Remarks? Commissioner Mitchell?
Yeah, just so if I'm hearing you correctly, we're just trying to make sure that we're up to code in this potential build-out of Selman Library, correct?
The code inspections will be done by our code department. You know, they'll go ahead and follow the permitting and the code requirements. This is related to making sure that what they said they're going to do in design is what they actually execute in the construction side of the house.
Okay.
We don't have the staff for that, and we don't have the expertise. And these are people that are engineers that are specialized in coming in and taking a look at what the design plans say versus what the builders are doing, and making sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed from a engineering perspective.
Got you. Okay, I get it now. I get it. So not a bad idea. I think that's a great idea to reassure that this is done properly, as opposed to it being built out and come back to find that this is not exactly correct. And I'm glad to know that we don't have the expertise in doing this. We need to farm it out, but at least we know that we need to get this part of it done to reassure that what we're doing is correct. So thank you. I yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Any other remarks? Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
Yeah, good morning. So just a quick question on page 1 where it says total materials testing, special inspection, and cost estimate of $9,900. Is the $12K that plus 15%? Just trying to
Yes,
back
sir.
into the
Yes, sir.
12K there.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay. All
We do
right.
try to allocate, contingency in,
Mhm.
in it, because we have learned that stuff happens
Mhm.
that is unforeseen, and we don't want to, again, come back and nickel and dime the board for changes.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Raxton. Any other questions, board? All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, number 19 is approval of a contract with Georgia Correctional Industries in the amount of $160,278.25 to provide shelving rejuvenation for the Selman Drive Library renovation project to be funded by the 2022 SPLOST funds, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Lindy?
Yes, this project will take our current shelving that we had at Selman and repowder coat it, cut it down to a shorter height, with a significant savings to the county. If we were to go out to purchase new shelving, we quoted that out, and it's over $400,000 to provide new shelving. This is reusing the shelving that we had. There was nothing wrong with the shelving other than we need to just jazz it up a little bit and make it fit into our color scheme that we're going with. So this is a significant savings in just reusing the shelving that we have, and that's our price at $160,000.
Okay. Any questions for Director Moore? We heard the word savings.
Savings.
That's great. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Director. All right.
Okay. Number 20 is a resolution naming the skate park in honor of Alan Major. And Chad Griffin and Tiffany Stewart Stanley.
Good morning. How are y'all doing this morning?
Good morning.
Thank you so much, Board of Commissioners, for allowing us to bring this agenda item forward. So as part of our Douglas County Reinvestment Plan and our strategic plan, one of the things that the county has been passionate about is reinvesting into our recreational facilities and programs. And one of the things led by our Director of Parks and Recreation that we've done is renovated the Family Fun Center as well as our skate park. And we're coming before you today to ask the board to issue a resolution to name the skate park in honor of Alan Major. And the reason why we're asking this is because he was very intricate in making sure that the park was something that we have in our community. He saw an interest in our community from our youth for skating, and there was nowhere for them to skate. So he actually built a skate park inside of the church where he was a youth pastor. And by doing that, the interest in skating became abundant in our community, and they said, we need to do something a little bit more. So he organized our youth to come before the board and ask for funding for the skate park, and we have the skate park that we have today. And so we're asking the board to name the skate park in his honor. Mr. Major did tragically pass away, I believe, in 2007. So we're just here if you have any questions.
Okay. Any questions, board? Regarding, okay. And this will be held at this.
Yes, and so this has kind of come full circle because our youth, and some of our interns are here today, stand up. Our interns and our youth commission have been working to arrange a grand opening in conjunction with our Parks and Recreation and our Constituent Services Department for the skate park. And so they're going to tell you a little bit more about that tomorrow, so I won't steal their thunder. But this is full circle because under the youth initiative that the board has put forward, as well as working with our youth commission and interns, the youth will be honoring Mr. Major with this grand opening. So it's come full circle under our youth initiative, and we're just so excited that we'll be able to bring this forward and honor him as well as his family for their contribution to Douglas County.
Absolutely. All right, thank you. Commissioner Mitchell, you have the floor.
Just great idea, great. I think this is really good to acknowledge Mr. Major. But is there a cost of all of this? Was there, because I don't see any numbers unless I missed something in the.
A cost for the.
Whatever you guys are kind of, is there a cost to put a plat up or put, you know, or.
Yeah, oh, come on.
Yeah, come to the, yes, okay, tell us, what that.
Good morning, how are
Thank
you
you.
doing?
Good morning, Director.
We're having a sign made by our in-house sign team.
Okay.
So yes, there'll be a nice big sign out there stating that it's welcome to Alan Major Skate Park, Douglas County Parks and Rec, and I'll have our contact info on the sign.
And would it have some information about all the great things he's done, or is it just going to be a name and a
Just be his name.
Okay, got it. And in-house, that, I'm assuming that probably don't cost us much of anything, but
Right.
but there's still a cost there, I would assume.
I'll have to get with Mr. Poole to ask the cost of that.
And I'm gonna have to assume, don't want to assume that it's somewhere in your budget, or is there some dollars and cents, a budget that we need to kind of pull it from, or we already kind of accounted for that, basically?
Parks and Rec budget will pay for the sign.
Oh, okay, good. I just want to make sure, make it, even though it may be a small amount of money, just want to make sure kind of where the money is coming from, though, to
Yes, sir.
fund this, which
Yes,
is, I think, is a great idea. Okay, thank you. I yield back, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Any other remarks, Board? I think this is wonderful.
Yes. And thank you all so much for your investment in our youth and our community.
Absolutely
Thank you.
wonderful idea.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to go back to number 5. That was for James Queen. He's not here today, so Tiffany will be responding to this, but it was authorization to accept the GEMA HS fiscal year 2024 Emergency Management Performance Grant in the amount of $39,721 with the 50% match to be funded by the EMA Director's salary, amend the budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review.
Thank you, Lisa. So this is a grant that we do get every year, and the purpose of this grant, it comes from GEMA, and we use it to fund part of the EMA director's salary. The grant typically runs from July 1st. It's the state's fiscal year, so it will run from July 1st of this year through June 30th of 2026. The county will have to submit one report just basically showing what we did with the money, which is the match for our EMA director's salary. And we normally receive a letter, but we don't receive anything to sign normally in the past. Just acknowledging that we have received the funding, so there should not be any documentation for the chairman to sign. But it's just an amendment in the budget to make sure that we have that listed for accounting purposes.
Okay, any questions, Board? Okay. All right, thank you so much. We have one question for you, Chief of Staff. Never mind. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Our last item is number 21, and we have a board appointment to the Department of Family and Children's Services Board. We have one individual who does not wish to be reappointed. I had emailed 4 applications to the board to review, and so we'll just need to make that appointment tomorrow.
Okay. Any discussion, Board, or any questions regarding tab number 21? Okay. If not, Board of Commissioners, do you have anything you want to add before I tap the shoulders of our county attorney? Commissioner Kenna Jones, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I just want to say thank you to the residents who came and spoke regarding the CSB. And the reason that I want to make a comment is because this is Douglas County's first opportunity for residents to realize that federal and state elections have consequences. The CSB is a state entity that relies and depends on funding from the state. Regardless of the desires of this board, and I think all of my colleagues would agree that the CSB is absolutely a detrimental need to the community. We cannot have residents who are suffering from developmental disabilities, cognitive delays, physical impairments, and have nowhere to go and get services for those things. And because of the way that our budget is set up and structured, the county cannot save the CSB by itself. But I'm, I guess, glad to see that there are residents that are impassioned about this, because we also cannot do the work alone of contacting your state and federal representatives. So I would urge everyone who came and spoke today, and anyone else that they can get, to get a phone tree together, because in terms of our veterans and the supports that they need, you need to be calling Doug Collins' office every single day to ensure that he is making sure that Douglas County's citizens are accounted for and that they are getting the veteran services that they need so that we can save our CSB. You also need to be on the phone every day with your state representative's office and your state senator's office to ensure that they are providing appropriate funding through DBHDD to ensure that our offices and our doors get to stay open. Again, the county can continue to throw money at this, but even in the best of situations, we cannot do this alone. I know Madam Chair is extremely supportive of the CSB, the work and the efforts that they do. I know that Commissioner Raxton and myself, we are supportive of what they do, Commissioner Mitchell and Commissioner Alcaraz, but again, there is no way that the county in and of itself can make up the deficit without having a true conversation and consideration for what that would potentially do for our residents' millage rate. So you have got to do your part contacting your state and federal officers to make sure that they are giving Douglas County its fair share of that funding, because the county cannot do it by itself. And we agree with the citizens, we can't afford to lose such a critical service. Madam Chair, with that, I yield back.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Kenneth Jones. Any other remarks? Commissioner Mitchell, you have the floor.
And I echo just what Commissioner Kenneth Jones stated, that this is a little bit above this local board. As stated, elections, there are consequences. I mean, with the White House doing what the big beautiful bill, that's kind of how it's going to trickle down to where we are now with CSB, just only one of many that will be affected. So for those of us who understand this, and that is elections, there are consequences. And now, if we really had the funds, because as stated earlier by Commissioner Kenneth Jones, that I think all of us here would love to have had the funds to continue to support CSB. Hands down, when I left on my 2-year hiatus, they were getting at least 1.2, and I'm not sure exactly the number, 1.5 in dollars and cents. Upon my return, it was down to $200,000. So it was defunded. However, the board that was before me allowed that. But now we're here at the crossroads of the White House doing a great, big, beautiful bill that's now going to have a direct effect on something, as we just stated, CSB. CSB is state funded. And yes, calling your state representatives, your federal guys, and everybody to try and get this, get some help, because if we want to fund this, we can, but it's going to cost us. It's going to be on the backs of the taxpayers here in Douglas County by a millage rate to try to do that. And from what I see and gauge after having conversations with those that are part of the CSB, it'll take about $5+ million to even just graze the surface. I don't think we've got that in our budget unless we can kind of get Dominique to find those funds. If he's got something hidden on a mattress somewhere or something that we can come across those funds. But on a serious note, though, it's really, this is serious, because we understand that our veterans, our communities, our mental health, I mean, all of that, I always state to all of us that we'll pay either on the front end by keeping and funding and dealing with the CSB, or we're going to pay on the back end. Because the jail is not going to be the place for these individuals. Because if we send them there, guess what? There's another cost. So you can run, but you can't hide. We're getting ready to get into our budgetary cycle now, that we're going to need to do some serious thinking about what do we envision Douglas County as, because financially, we're not looking great. We're not looking great. So I'll leave it there. I too, if I had the flying money tree that we could pull and pluck from, I will be there plucking dollars and cents for an organization as CSB. So I think we might be a little too late to the dance, but still call your Congress, call your state reps, call your the House reps and even your president and ask for some support. But from my understanding, there's probably another 5 to 8 CSBs that's going to go away. 12, okay. I know they're getting down to a magical number, and we're just one of those that will probably be unplugged. So prepare yourselves for this. But outside of that, the best we can do to fund this that I can see would be an increase in the millage rate. And I don't think anybody is interested in that. But you better understand, unplugging it doesn't get you any further. It doesn't get you any rewards. It only gets you into a problematic situation, and that is now you have to deal with these types of organizations or these types of situations that you'll have to deal with now, and it's going to be facing this board and this budget and our community. So I don't know what else to say other than we're in trouble, and we got to take a hard look this year at our budget. But I think CSB will probably, more than likely, go away. I yield back, Madam Chair.
I appreciate your statement, Commissioner Mitchell. Certainly, I have not been invited to the dance yet. I don't know what's going to go away. I don't have a magic ball right now. I'm trusting in God. I don't know about you. So with that being said, certainly DFACS would be another area, because you have some supplemental funding there that provides support for our citizens, such as Medicaid, and then of course the what is the food stamp? I want to make sure I say the right word. The food stamp. SNAP, and all those things. WIC, those things we have quite a few things to do, and I trust this board that we will make some good decisions in order to make sure that our citizens in this county is taken care of. The welfare of our citizens, with all of us, great minds think alike, and I know we'll be at the table crunching numbers, and that's our job to do, because our citizens have entrusted us to do the right thing. So with that being said, I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'm getting kind of religious on y'all this morning. I'm gonna trust in God, and I'm gonna give you the floor. And you have anything, Vice Chair? You look like you want to say something. Okay. With that being said, I'm gonna, if we don't have any other remarks, I'm going to move on and tap the shoulders of our county attorney. County attorney, do we have a motion to move into executive session to discuss litigation, personnel, real estate, and cybersecurity?
Yes, ma'am, we do need a motion.
Okay. Do we have a motion, board?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, board? We have a motion and a second to go into discussion for litigation, personnel, real estate, and cybersecurity. All in favor, please indicate by raising the right hand. We have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries to go into executive session. Citizens of Douglas County, we're taking a slight pause for the calls, and we will return momentarily. The Board of Commissioners. Thank you so much.